Eurosceptics warned proposed amendments to the UK's flagship legislation would make for the most dangerous EU day yet for Brexit. Labour peers are abstaining from opposing one Lib Dem amendment which calls for votes in the Lords and Commons on whether to hold a second referendum before the Brexit deal is approved. And another amendment is demanding Brexit ministers are forced back to the negotiating table, if rejected by Parliament. Eurosceptics warned proposed amendments to the UK's flagship legislation would make for the most. Brexit ministers have so far offered to take it or leave it vote on the final Brexit deal, meaning the option of a no deal was still on the table. This meant Britain could simply leave the bloc without an agreement on a future relationship with one, not to be struck by March 30 next year, but this amendment would prevent that. Speaking to The Observer on Sunday, Shadow Brexit Secretary Sir Keir Starmer confirmed the amendment was aimed at stopping a no-deal Brexit. He said, "This is one of the most important amendments of the entire Brexit process, and indeed of the Parliament. We have always been clear that the vote must be truly meaningful. It can not simply be a take it or leave it as the Prime Minister has suggested. This amendment, which has cross-party support, would provide a safety net in the Brexit process." Keir Starmer confirmed the amendment was aimed at stopping a no-deal Brexit. It would remove the possibility of a no vote leading to a no deal. It would bring back control to Parliament. In contrast, Lord Callanan, the Tory Brexit minister in the House of Lords, said, "This flawed amendment seeks to tie our hands by inserting false deadlines and shifting the power to negotiate from government to Parliament. It asks for meaningless votes on the deal before the deal is done. Those who want to overturn the referendum call this the No Brexit Amendment. The Conservatives are taking the scrutinising role of Parliament. Labour are using it to frustrate Brexit. Remain supporting peers have so far thrown a spanner in the works by defeating the EU withdrawal bill, allowing ministers to change regulations with limited parliamentary involvement or scrutiny. But ministers argue that the powers offered by the bill are needed to make sure thousands of EU regulations are transferred to the UK's statute book before the Brexit comes into effect. Jacob Rees-Mogg, chairman of the Tory backbench European Research Group, warned that peers risked voting themselves into extinction by attempting to derail Brexit. Mr. Rees-Mogg said the issue was a case of peers against the people. He added, "They are trying to stop the largest ever public vote in our history. We are in a position peers against the people. It is deeply unattractive, and I think it is the weakest position for the House of Lords to be in. There is a problem with the House of Lords in that it is very condescending towards the democratic vote. They seem to think that they know better than 17.4 million people.